them. So you're going to have multiple generations, but let's face it, it all goes better if we all have our own space. So they do add on to their homes. This is a leather business on the right. Oh, their buggy was in the back. I'm seeing scooters at places, but not a ton of buggies today. So that's a leather working business. Now they're not going to make belts for Amish men. They might make them to sell to English folks, but the Amish men don't wear belts. Belts can get a little too fancy. So that's why they wear the suspenders. So they are plain and simple on purpose. They're also uniform. You know, it kind of looks maybe constricting to us, like, oh, they all have to wear the exact same stuff. But there's a reason and a purpose behind that. When everybody has the exact same clothing, it guards against pride and vanity. It helps you refrain from playing the comparison game, which unfortunately happens way too often in our society, and it's just toxic. Because you either end up feeling really bad about yourself, or you have an inflated ego about it. It just doesn't lead to anything good. So it helps you guard against the comparison game, and then it also helps remind you that everyone is actually equal in the sight of God. So that's why the uniformity, and that's why their tombstones are also uniform, because not only in life but also in death, everybody's equal. No soul is more or less important. This field to our right, you can see last year's corn stalks, so they have not been plowed under yet. None of these have been. So the number one crop grown in Lancaster by Amish and English farmers is corn. But most of the corn grown around here is actually field corn. So field corn is used for the animals. Oh, this is pretty on the left. Got their little house garden plowed up. Most of the corn is field corn for the animals. So in the fall at harvest time, they harvest the corn and they just grind it all up, even the stalks. And that gets put into the silos. The silos are the really tall cylinder type buildings that are on the farms. Most of them are gray, some of them are blue. So the corn goes in there and then that feeds their animals all winter long. Thankfully, though, there are farmers around here who do plant sweet corn, and that is what we humans get to enjoy. In Lancaster and in just this general growing area, it comes, it's usually available around July 4th is our rule of thumb. These are free-range chickens on the left. There's another one up here that's really much closer to the road. There we got so there's lots of laundry, as you can see. Big old laundry day.
How do they do that?
So yeah, when the sweet corn comes in, we don't even have to go to the grocery store. You can just drive around looking for farm stands,
hand wash the clothes,
farm wagons that sell it.
There's no electricity.
Here's our free-range chickens. Yesterday in the rain, they all huddle underneath that little house. It kind of looks funny, but today they get to be out in the sunshine.
Those are cage-free chicken.
So like I said, the silos, the big tower-like buildings on the farms, a lot of them are gray. They look like cement. Some of them are blue, and I am told the blue ones are the Cadillac of the silo world. So if you're in the market for a silo and you want the fancy good kind, go blue. Now up here, we do have a vehicle behind us, so I can't go too slow, but this is just a gorgeous view from up here. So you can see the silos, you can see the farms. The other thing that often is on the Amish farm properties is a windmill. They often have windmills because they have wells for their water. So out in the country, it doesn't matter if you're Amish or English, public water doesn't run out here. So most properties out here do have a well for their water. So the windmill spins around at the top, and then down through the center of the windmill, there's a bar, and it goes up and down. And that powers the pump that pumps the water from your well into your house. And that was very typical because without electricity, that's how they needed to run their pump. Today, they actually might have a pump that's powered by gasoline or propane or even solar. But some of them do still use the windmill to power their pump. But even if they don't use the windmill, it's still there on the property. So it's another one of those iconic Amish farm things is the windmill. So the corn, most of it is not planted yet, I don't believe. It's a little early, like I said. So around here they also grow soybeans, alfalfa. Alfalfa is commonly used to feed and as feed for the animals and actually as bedding for the animals. The long white tubey things down there, that's similar to what I said were like those big marshmallows. That's more bedding for the animals. Up here we're going to cross over Mill Creek, and it's just a very historic spot. It's not Amish, but it's super historic, so it's nice to be mentioned. This is a new construction Amish house here on the left. It's in the process of being built. I can't wait to see it when it's done. So Mill Creek is down here on the right. You will see the waterfall. It's just really pretty. There's a little bit of a park here. Yesterday it was an Amish holiday. This place was packed with guys, Amish guys fishing. I mean, all along the banks of the stream. And then on the left, we're actually turning here, this old building here is the old mill. It was built in 1760, so it's just pretty old, historic. It was the mill for the area, so people would bring their wheat, corn, rye, whatever. They'd bring it here and have it ground up. Like I said, not Amish, but just cool, historic. So here we have mules. Mules, their ears tend to be, because they are a cross with a donkey, their ears just look very pointy, and you can kind of see the difference. Here you have the plastic out in the fields. There's a windmill. That one is not working. It's not even going around at the top. Now, next up on our tour is the portion that's known as Pop Quiz, people. Have you been listening, or have I been putting you to sleep? We'll find out. So up here, we are going to pass a cemetery. It's on our right. Your job is to tell me if this cemetery is Amish or English. Amish or English cemetery, here on our right.
It's
All right. Okay, so good. That means you've been awake, but why? How do you know that is English?
too fancy, different patterns.
That's right.
Not uniform.
Right, not uniform. But
Yes.
there's another reason.
Church.
We have a building. That's right. That's actually a Mennonite church. It's a very modern Mennonite church. People that go there look like you and me. They have all the same modern conveniences we do. This is an Amish school, though, on our left. I love the little scooters out. Yes, hot pink. This and the neon green. These are some of the newest
Ooh.
colors in Amish scooter world. The scooters are made in the area. I'm not sure how much it costs. Yeah, so the kids are going to ride scooter to school or walk. We have over 300 Amish schools in Lancaster County.
300?
Yep. We're gonna go. So yes, there are over 300 one-room Amish schoolhouses in Lancaster. We do have, Lancaster County by county has the largest Amish population in the U.S. Probably because it is the original. We have over 41,000. So here in Lancaster, they kind of group themselves into church districts. And those are based on geographical area, just for practical reasons. So each district is going to have like 20 to 30 families in it, and that's who's going to worship together every other Sunday. You worship within your church district. Everybody takes a turn hosting. So you're going to probably host about once a year on your property. You'll either host everyone in your home, or else out in your barn, or if you have a big shop, wherever you have a large enough space to accommodate anywhere from 100 to 200, 250 people. They will bring a special wagon to your home and deliver benches, so you don't have to have seating for everyone. Those of you going on the house tour, you're going to get to see that firsthand. So here in Lancaster, the church districts, we have over 245 church districts. And again, each district has like 20 to 30 families, so kind of gives you a picture of just how vast the population is. And it's all spread out throughout the county. So it's not like they're all just right here. You can go in any portion of Lancaster County and probably see Amish people. The only place you're probably not going to see many Amish living is Lancaster City. You might see them shopping, or you might see them at Central Market, especially, I think Central Market is Fridays. I'm not sure. I really need to find that out. I don't go in too often. So you might see them shopping or at market or something like that, but they're not probably going to live in the city too much. Right. This field on our right or left is actually freshly plowed. I can tell it's nice and dark dirt. The Amish didn't settle in this area when they came over from Europe a lot because of the climate, the soil, the geography. It was very similar to what they had in Europe. And at that time, most of them were farmers. We do have a school here on our right. Kids are back inside again. So when they're in school, the kids are learning, most of the subjects they learn in 1st through 8th grade are very similar to what the public school kids would learn. But one thing they're definitely going to learn is English. The Amish at home and amongst themselves don't usually speak English. They speak a dialect of German that's called Pennsylvania Dutch. So if you ever hear this area known as Pennsylvania Dutch country, that's why. They do speak Pennsylvania Dutch. It has nothing to do with Holland or the Netherlands. It's Dutch is a take on the word Deutsch, which is German. So it is a true dialect of German. If you speak German, you can kind of understand some of it, and some of it you can't at all. It's an actual, just its own language. It's oral only though, so they don't read or write Pennsylvania Dutch. They just speak it. But some of the kids, when they show up at school at age of 6, they really don't speak much English. Some do. It depends on their family, but some really don't. So they're going to start learning English in school, and just after a couple years, they're fully fluent. So most people don't realize that the Amish are truly bilingual. They speak fluent English and Pennsylvania Dutch. You would never know English isn't their first language. They're so fluent in it. Now the other thing is they're actually going to start learning proper German as well. When they do have their church services, they read out of a German language Bible. The Amish are Protestant Christians, so they do use the Old and New Testament out of the Bible, but they use a German Bible. And then the songs they sing during their church services are also in proper German. They have a German language hymnal called the Ausbund. So now they need to speak and understand German also. So they don't become fluent in speaking German. You're not going to hear them speaking it much, but they do have to learn it because of their Bible and their hymn book. So that's a third language they're learning. And then they are going to learn in school, they're going to learn a lot of math. So they don't go on to learn like the higher math, like calculus, even trigonometry probably. They're not going to learn those higher ones, but they're going to have a very solid math education because they're going to be, oh, scooters, I'm going to interrupt myself. Finally, some scooters. These are grown men on these scooters. Like I said, not just for the kids. They're just way faster.
Oh.
So there's a grown man, and over here's a grown man going up his driveway. Hey, do you guys know how to tell if an Amish guy is married or not?
Wear a hat?
Yes, I know. Anybody who was on the house tour probably already learned. So an unmarried Amish man can't have facial hair. He has to be clean shaven. When you get married, you have to grow a beard.
Oh.
But you can't have a mustache. So you have to shave your mustache because mustaches can get a little too fancy and not uniform. You can personalize it a little more, I guess, but your beard has to be a full beard, no goatee, no trendy shadow beard or something cool like that. So full beard. So yeah, when you see a man, if he has facial hair, he's married. If he doesn't, he is available. So those guys back there, they had beards. They were married men. All right, we are going to pull in here to the Bird and Hand Bake Shop.
Do they only marry like within their?
They only marry if they